In this video, I'm going to discuss 30 of the best and most exciting new games releasing in 2024. From action RPGs to MMOs to roguelikes, there's definitely something that will pique your interest. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below what your most anticipated game of 2024 is. Let's get started. STALKER 2 Heart of Chornobyl is the newest installment in the award-winning game franchise STALKER. Heart of Chornobyl takes you deep into the Chernobyl exclusion zone, building upon the events of the original STALKER trilogy. You will play as a lone stalker named Skiff as you navigate the dangerous world. There's violent mutants, deadly anomalies, and warring factions that have made the zone a very tough place to survive. You'll make your way through the zone as you make choices and decide your path within what is described as a pretty highly branching story. The game will feature aggressive AI, including human AI of varying factions. There'll be over 30 different weapon types with modifications that you can use. You'll meet members of different factions where you'll have to decide who you want to trust and who you want to eliminate. You'll also encounter horrifyingly mutated creatures that'll try to take you out, each with different behavior models that you'll have to learn and adapt to. And they also have some different subtypes, which makes them kind of unpredictable. The game is supposed to feature a seamless open world that is described as, quote, one of the biggest in video games. In the game, survival is a key element with a full day and night cycle, dynamic weather, and mechanics like hunger, sleeping, bleeding, and radiation effects. And the game world has been overhauled with what is called the A-Life System 2.0, with factions and mutants dynamically interacting within the environment even when you're not there. The game will also include widespread mod support to give freedom to the players to create and extend the game's universe. And GSC Game World has confirmed that multiplayer will be added to the post-release of the game with a free update. With its blend of first-person shooter and immersive sim elements, STALKER 2 looks like it could be a fantastic experience. Tekken 8 is the newest entry into the longest-running video game storyline. It's the 8th mainline game and 10th overall in the series. Tekken 8 is set to offer a fresh gameplay experience with the introduction of some new mechanics and the refinement of some fan favorites. The game will also incorporate rollback netcode for a smoother online playing experience. Game director Katsuhiro Harada emphasized the importance of making the game engaging and fun for both players and spectators alike. The game will launch with a base roster of 32 characters with completely redesigned character visuals, including legacy characters and new fighters with unique movesets. Character trailers have been released pretty regularly, showing the return of some fan favorites and the introduction of some new characters. The game has featured some new fighters like Reina, dubbed Purple Lightning, as well as a new 3-story stage set in Peru. The game will also feature a new single-player mode called Arcade Quest, where you can explore an arcade-style hub and engage in various online battles similar to Street Fighter VI's Battle Hub. This mode will allow you to customize your avatar and outfits for your favorite fighters. With this blend of classic characters, new fighters, and new gameplay mechanics, Tekken 8 looks like it's going to be another great release of the fighting franchise. Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth is the direct sequel to Yakuza Like a Dragon. Making a significant shift in the series, the game is moving from its traditional 3D beat-em-up style to a dynamic turn-based RPG format, drawing inspiration from classic RPGs such as Dungeon Quest. The game unfolds in Japan and Hawaii, extended beyond the usual Yokohama and Tokyo settings. The storyline delves into the emotional journey of Kuryu and Ichiban. The story sets the stage for a partnership between the two protagonists. Infinite Wealth is looking to change and refine its gameplay mechanics, allowing strategic positioning of characters in battles. Kiryu's character brings a unique twist, breaking from the turn-based style to engage in his signature combat methods. The game reintroduces the Poundmates feature and a variety of minigames. Additionally, the Sujimon minigame, a blend of pro wrestling and Pokemon, will be returning. You'll be able to explore a range of classes, mastering various skills and combat styles along the way. The game's length and depth will surpass previous entries in the series in both duration and content. Infinite Wealth looks to be an interesting addition to the franchise, combining intense RPG combat, deep storytelling, and a variety of activities and minigames. And it looks to be a lot of fun. Helldivers 2 is a third-person squad-based shooter and much anticipated sequel to the original Helldivers game. The game unfolds in a galaxy devastated by alien invasions, engulfing you in a narrative of interstellar defense and conflict. You'll play as Helldivers, elite soldiers tasked with defending their home planet against alien forces. Helldivers is a visceral and violent game, allowing you to customize your arsenal to align with your preferred combat style, from long-range assaults to close-quarters combat. A significant change from the original game is the transition from a top-down to a third-person viewpoint, providing a more immersive, boots-on-the-ground combat experience. Now, this is a change that many welcome, but I'm sure some are still pretty hesitant about, if they prefer the top-down viewpoint. The game features large-scale battles against alien hordes in a variety of environments, which will require some strategic combat and cooperation. The game world is significantly larger than the original, offering more exploration opportunities, but also increasing the challenge of covering these vast areas. A core component of gameplay involves strategic cooperation with your squad members, which requires some tactical planning. The game also features active friendly fire, adding a layer of complexity to the combat. You must carefully choose your armor and weapons for each mission, as hinted at in the co-op and combat trailer, as each situation will present you with different challenges. Given the success and popularity of the original Helldivers, there are high expectations for the sequel to enhance and expand upon the former's formula. Here's to hoping they can do just that. Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden is an upcoming horror action RPG from Dogma, known for its narrative-driven games such as Life is Strange, Vampire, and Twin Mirror. The game unfolds in the year 1695, in the haunting wilderness of North America. Ghosts of New Eden presents a tale of love and supernatural adventure. You'll step into the shoes of Red McWraith, a banisher or ghost hunter dedicated to protecting the living from the ghosts. The story takes a turn when his lover, Antia Duarte, also a banisher, becomes a ghost herself. The story explores the duo's journey as they confront supernatural threats while also seeking a way to free Antia from her ghostly existence. Dogma has a tradition of using player choice to guide and impact the game's narrative, and Ghosts of New Eden will continue that tradition. Choices within the game will be critical and will greatly influence the storyline along the way. The game looks to deliver a blend of action and narrative detail. Gameplay involves solving haunting cases, uncovering ancient secrets, and banishing spectral creatures using a mix of a physical arsenal as well as Antia's spiritual powers. Inspired by recent action games like God of War, the game features elements like crafting, gear and weapon upgrades, environmental puzzles, and dynamic combat. Ghosts of New Eden looks to offer a blend of horror, action, and adventure set in a very narrative-driven world. With its focus on deep storytelling and atmospheric setting, could be a game that we can look forward to. Skull and Bones is the newest pirate RPG from Ubisoft. Set in the golden age of piracy, the game offers an open-world experience set in the Indian Ocean. Described as, quote, beautiful yet dangerous. You begin as a lowly outcast working your way up to become a notorious pirate. The gameplay focuses on building the ultimate pirate ship and engaging in different naval activities. Skull and Bones allows you to manage all aspects of your ship, including navigation, combat, and crew management. The game features 3 types of ships: navigation, firepower, and cargo, each with unique abilities. Ubisoft has designed Skull and Bones as a multiplayer-first live service game. Unfortunately, yes, I did say those words, live service. However, it also offers a solo play option for those who prefer to play the game alone, and the multiplayer allows for both PvE and PvP engagements. Skull and Bones has the potential to be a fun pirate game. However, more than any other game on this list, I also feel it has the chance to be a serious flop if it doesn't deliver. Other than the live service aspect, which we know can be a real disaster if not done correctly, another aspect that could be its downfall is the lack of player-controlled boarding and hand-to-hand combat. If this is missing in the final build, then I'm not sure this game will have the legs to stand for very long. While this game does have some potential big issues, I included it on the list because it also has the potential to be a really fun game. We'll really just have to wait and see. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the second installment in a 3-part series remake of the original 1997 game. With nearly 100 hours of rumored gameplay time, the remake offers a substantial expansion in scope compared to the original. The game features more open and explorative environments, diverse minigames at the iconic Gold Saucer, and unique modes of transport, including chocobo riding and segways. The storyline, continuing from where Intergrade left off, will explore new areas beyond Midgar. The narrative is designed to be enjoyable even for those new to the Final Fantasy VII series. Intriguingly, the latest trailers hint at a potential deviation from the original story. While the game is rooted in the original game's story, there have been hints at potential deviations or alternate timelines, suggesting a fresh narrative experience. The gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth provides a blend of real-time action and command-based battles. The incorporation of skill trees, additional materia, and new abilities will further enrich progression and customization. Development of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been in full swing since before the completion of Final Fantasy VII Remake. The team's ambition is to make the second installment a fan favorite. Moreover, work has already commenced on the third title of the trilogy, signaling an exciting future for the series. Life by You first grabbed headlines in March 2023 during the Paradox announcement showcase. The upcoming life sim looks to redefine the genre and compete with the juggernaut that is The Sims. In its first trailer, we got a glimpse of Life by You's expansive open world and the freedom to control any character at any time. Life by You is introducing some groundbreaking features to the sim genre. The conversation editor allows real language conversations tailored to each character's unique situation. You can expect different quests and a quest editor, allowing you to create your own storylines, climb career ladders, and build families. Life by You is being designed to be super mod friendly, as Paradox have said it will be the quote most moddable simulation. The game will have a town creator that lets you redesign the entire town with a library of lots and creation tools, and it will also feature an object editor tool. Breaking away from the norm, Life by You is embracing more mature themes. Include unblurred nudity. The game's open world is reportedly free of loading screens, making exploration seamless. And not just on foot, bikes, cars, buses, and skateboards offer different modes of transportation. During its early access phase, the game will evolve with player feedback. Their goal of using early access is to obviously bug fix, but to also shape the game with community input. With its moddable design and immersive gameplay, Life by You looks as a promising competitor in the genre. Star Wars Outlaws is Ubisoft's latest venture into the Star Wars universe, offering a third-person open-world experience. Outlaws focuses on the grittier aspects of the Star Wars universe. You'll step into the role of Kay Vess during the period between Episode 4 A New Hope and Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back. Kay Vess is a galactic outlaw on a quest for one of the biggest heists in the galaxy. Accompanying Kay are her loyal companions, Nyx, a four-legged furry alien, and ND5, a commando droid with a unique aesthetic. The gameplay trailer showcases a variety of missions from stealth-based challenges to high-speed chases and intense combat. The story unfolds in a galaxy where the Empire is tightening its grip amidst a full-blown rebellion, where you'll see backroom dealings, dramatic shootouts, and high-stakes chases involving Imperial officers and crime bosses. Unlike traditional Star Wars games that center around Jedi and their lightsaber duels, Outlaws has a more grounded focus. Gameplay will involve shootouts, stealth, and daring escapes. The game's open world includes space-based dogfights where you have the freedom to choose your own path. This element of choice extends to the ground missions as well. With its unique focus on some of the less explored aspects of the Star Wars universe, Outlaws could be a pretty interesting title. Alone in the Dark, a series once loved for its unique blend of cosmic horror inspired by H.P. Lovecraft, is set for a comeback. Originally slated for a 2023 release, the game is now scheduled to launch on January 16th. The game has some serious talent behind it, with the game's narrative being penned by Mikhail Hedberg, known for Soma and Amnesia: The Dark Descent. In this psychological horror game, you will explore Dorcito Manor, a deteriorating home for the mentally ill located in the American South during the 1920s. You will step into the shoes of Emily Hartwood, a woman in search of her missing uncle, or a private investigator named Edward Carnby. The story revolves around the mysterious Dorcito Asylum and the search for Emily's missing uncle. You play as the two characters, each experiencing their own perspective on the story as they work together to solve the case. The game will feature actors David Harbour voicing Edward Carnby and Jodie Comer voicing Emily Hartwood. The gameplay will be set in a third-person, over-the-shoulder perspective. Think Resident Evil. Details about the gameplay mechanics were partially revealed in trailers and blog posts. The game will feature exploration, puzzle solving, and third-person shooting elements, with a focus on survival in dark, eerie environments. Puzzle solving appears to be a significant aspect, as shown in brief trailer clips featuring various challenges. Although melee combat is seen, it's suggested that ammo scarcity will make it a necessary but less preferred option against the enemies in-game. The reboot of Alone in the Dark looks to promise a return to the series' original roots with some modern gameplay and storytelling, all while paying homage to the original. So hopefully it'll be a fun title. Rise of the Ronin is an upcoming action RPG in development from Team Ninja, and I have to say is one of my most anticipated games of 2024. The game is a PS5 exclusive and has been described by leaks as a mix of Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed, and Dark Souls. The game is set in 19th century Japan and transports you to the Edo era's twilight, specifically the Bakumatsu period, which is characterized by civil war, disease outbreaks, and invasive foreign interests. You will assume the role of a Ronin, a samurai without a master. The game is set in an open world, utilizing horses for transportation. The game promises a deep and intense story, diving into Japan's critical historical revolution, including some of its darkest chapters. The game will offer you significant choices that can really affect the unfolding story. The leaks have also revealed that game features will include a variety of side quests, difficulty options, skill and technique trees, and potential romance options. True to Team Ninja's reputation, Rise of the Ronin will feature intense and impactful combat, blending katana warfare with period-accurate firearms. Rise of the Ronin is an exciting PS5 exclusive set in historical Japan, offering a really immersive experience in a pivotal historical setting. With its mix of intense combat, deep narrative, and an expansive open world, I really can't wait to see more. Capcom is coming in big with another massive adventure with Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a single-player, narrative-driven action RPG. It offers a highly customizable main character and party with the freedom to approach the game's various situations differently. In Dragon's Dogma 2, players resume the role of the Arisen, a hero whose heart is stolen by a dragon. The journey begins with the Arisen escaping from an underground dungeon, suffering from amnesia and grappling with the possibility of not being the true Arisen. The game's world will be 4 times larger than the original, promising an expansive new adventure. The vocation system allows for diverse playstyles, including swordsmen, archers, sorcerers, and possibly hybrid vocations. Enemies range from goblins and ogres to more formidable foes like Medusa-like monsters and sphinxes. The pawn system from the original game returns, featuring AI-controlled party members who aid in battles. These AI-controlled party members are more than just battle aids, they're virtual companions with unique personality traits. You can form a party of 4, including 1 fully customizable main pawn and 2 support pawns borrowed from other players, indicating a unique multiplayer aspect into the single-player experience. Dragon's Dogma 2 looks like it's shaping up to be a fantastic sequel, and is definitely one that I am interested in checking out this year. Manor Lords is an eagerly awaited city-building, real-time strategy game set in a medieval world. Developed by the solo developer at Slavic Magic, the game is inspired by the late 14th century Franconia and looks to deliver a historically accurate experience. Manor Lords offers a gridless building system allowing for organic growth of medieval towns. You can influence the development of commercial, industrial, and residential districts. Resource management is key as resources are scattered across the map and you must strategically choose between different types of settlements. The game also features a robust RTS combat system. Positioning, unit formations, equipment, morale, fatigue, and weather conditions all play crucial roles in battle. In Manor Lords, you will use development points to unlock new buildings and enact policies that can affect the region's economy and influence. Manor Lords looks to be a deep and immersive medieval city building and strategy game, offering a blend of natural city growth, detailed combat, and complex governance systems. It looks like something that would be right up my alley, and I can't wait to see more from this game. Silent Hill is making a grand comeback with Konami's announcement of new projects in the series, including the much anticipated remake of Silent Hill 2. Adding to the excitement, Konami is simultaneously working on other Silent Hill projects, including Silent Hill Ascension, Silent Hill F, and Silent Hill Townfall. The story of Silent Hill 2 remains faithful to the original. It revolves around the haunting story of James Sunderland, a widower who receives a letter from his deceased wife, drawing him to the eerie town of Silent Hill. While the core story remains the same as the original, the remake comes with some fresh technical enhancement, making it more accessible and immersive for modern gameplay. The remake features modernized gameplay elements. The original's third-person perspective is being replaced by an over-the-shoulder camera, which enhances the completely rebuilt combat system. Initially, Silent Hill 2 will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive for at least the first 12 months. The game is being built on Unreal Engine 5, providing updated graphics and visual effects, and the use of SSD tech aims to eliminate loading times, providing a seamless exploration of the haunting environment. So it sounds like another fantastic addition or remake of the Silent Hill series, and I'm sure a lot will be looking forward to it. Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga is the sequel to 2017's Hellblade, which followed the story of Senua, a warrior who had to fight her way to Helheim to rescue the soul of her dead lover. Throughout the game, Senua grappled with her own psychological traumas. The sequel is continuing this thought-provoking journey, although specific storyline details remain a mystery. However, we do know that the game will be set in Viking Iceland. The trailers so far have shown Senua in various dark and ominous settings. One of those examples was gameplay seen during the Game Awards, where we see Senua and a band of warriors confronting a giant in a coastal cave environment. The game is being developed on the Unreal Engine 5, and from what we've seen so far, the game is visually beautiful, from the character models to the environment. The development of the sequel is on a much larger scale compared to the first game, which was completed by fewer than 20 people. Combat improvement will be a focal point for Hellblade 2, with combat designer Juan Fernandez stating they are, quote, raising the bar. Now what exactly that means will be interesting to see. This is a series that has received some serious acclaim, and one that I've always looked to play but I've never really gotten around to it. Story-driven titles are some of my favorites, so it looks like I'm going to have to fix that before the release of Hellblade 2. Hollow Knight Silksong is the highly anticipated sequel. Since its reveal in 2019, Team Cherry has maintained secrecy about the game's launch, teasing occasional showcases and live streams. Silksong looks to deliver a fresh take on the successful formula of the first game, featuring Hornet as the new player character. Hornet brings a dynamic set of abilities, including enhanced movement options like dashing and sprinting, faster healing, and the ability to speak. The game also introduces Silk as a resource for healing and abilities, replacing the Souls mechanic from the original game. Upon death, you will drop a bundle of Silk that must be destroyed upon return to replenish supplies. In addition to Hornet's new abilities, Silksong revamps the game with new mechanics such as tools and crafting. Hornet can use tools like a spiked ball, and you can also craft tools as well. There's also new kingdom exploration with over 150 different types of enemies and challenging bosses. And there are new currencies, introducing shell shards and rosaries as new currencies. Shell shards being used to repair and craft tools, while rosaries are used for purchasing goods. And the game will feature 4 different types of quests: Gatherer, Wayfarer, Hunt, and Grand Hunt quests. Hollow Knight Silksong is enhancing the positive elements of the first game while also introducing new features and mechanics, and it looks like it can be a fantastic sequel. Developed by Chinese indie game developer Game Science, Black Myth Wukong is an upcoming Souls-like action RPG that is driving some serious excitement with its beautiful graphics and intense combat. The detailed storyline of Black Myth Wukong remains a mystery. However, the game is known to be based on the classic 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West, focusing on the legendary character Sun Wukong, also known as the Monkey King. The story of the Monkey King has been adapted in various formats, including films and video games. The character even inspired Goku in the famous Dragon Ball series. Within the game, you will play as a character known only as the Destined One. The story of Journey to the West follows Wukong from birth through his spiritual journey to eventual immortality. He possesses many abilities, from incredible strength to extreme speed, amazing memory, and excellent fighting skills. He also acquires the 72 earthly transformations, allowing him to transform into numerous animals and objects. You will explore and fight your way through a fantastical world set in 7th century China, where you will face numerous supernatural enemies. Black Myth Wukong is a big leap for indie game development, trying to blend traditional storytelling with modern gameplay. And its release in 2024 is highly anticipated, in the top 5 most wishlisted Steam titles. With impressive visuals and interesting gameplay, it looks like it could be an impressive title when it releases. Avowed was first teased back in 2020, and we've more recently gotten a glimpse of its gameplay at the Xbox Game Showcase. Set in a new region of the Eora universe known from the Pillars of Eternity series, Avowed's story centers around a spreading plague. Drawing comparisons to Skyrim, Avowed is a first-person RPG that blends rune-based magic powers with sword combat. The game features both first and third-person animations, branching dialogue choices, and dynamic day and night cycle, similar to Obsidian's previous RPGs. In Avowed, your character is a powerful magic wielder that is sent to the living lands to investigate the devastating plague. However, their immense power brings fear and distrust among the locals, challenging you to prove your intentions. The game teases the possibility of choice-based branching pathways, adding depth to the game's journey. Avowed also introduces companions to the mix as well, such as Kai, who resides in the living lands and will guide you through the wild frontier. The gameplay trailer hints at a blend of sword, magic, and weapon-based actions with spells that not only aid you in combat, but also can influence the environment and the enemies around. Rumors have suggested that Avowed will be a fully open-world experience, even surpassing the scale of Skyrim. It's expected to feature a real-time weather system and mod support. And I feel like if the gameplay loop is fun and the game has some good depth to it, could be a really interesting title. Released in 2019, Greedfall gained fanfare with its unique 18th century fantasy setting and story. Greedfall 2: The Dying World is a prequel to the original game, set in the colonial-themed island of Tir Fradi. Greedfall 2 transports us back in time, 3 years before the events of the first game. The story unfolds from the perspective of a native of Tir Fradi who finds themselves transported to the main continent. This shift in viewpoint will help offer a fresh take on the game world, throwing you into a story filled with political intrigue, power struggles, and the looming threat of the plague. The game's plot is dynamic and evolves based on your decisions and actions, helping to provide a personalized gameplay experience. The game will focus on narrative and player choice, featuring revamped combat mechanics, expansive and diverse environments, and a host of new companions and factions. You will face the challenge of resolving conflicts through combat or dialogue, continuing the deep RPG elements that were a staple of the original game. As a single-player game, Greedfall 2 is not expected to feature any multiplayer modes, staying true to the narrative focus of the first game. While the first game is not something that I have played thus far, it does seem like an interesting series and one that I might have to try and go back and catch up on before Greedfall 2 is released. Hades 2 is gearing up to release in early 2024 and looks to be a huge sequel to the original roguelike game. Developed by Supergiant Games, this marks their first direct sequel, and expectations are pretty high. The game will initially launch in early access on PC for Steam and the Epic Games Store. Continuing in the style of the original, Hades 2 remains a roguelike dungeon crawler, featuring a large, mythical underworld filled with new locations, challenges, and upgraded systems. You will play as Melanoi, a witch and sorceress who brings a unique arsenal to the game. The debut trailer gave a glimpse of her combat powers against the forces aligned with the Titan of Time. Supergiant Games emphasizes the importance of community feedback during this early access phase of the game, assuring that Hades 2 will contain at least as much content from day one of the early access game as the original had at its early access launch. I know that early access can always be a hit or miss, but given the track record of the previous game, there looks like there's going to be plenty of excitement and content for Hades 2, especially since it is rising the charts of the Steam most wishlisted games list. Let's just hope they can deliver on the expectations that they've given forth, and we have a fantastic game. Ark 2, the sequel to Ark Survival Evolved, is now slated for release in 2024. Anticipation is really high, especially with the first Ark game being such a huge success. And an interesting thing about this game is that Vin Diesel serves as the game's executive producer and lead character. And the studio has emphasized their commitment to making Ark 2 the best it can be, prioritizing the game's quality and the team's well-being over trying to rush the game out, which I can respect. The first trailer of Ark 2, revealed in 2020, was fully captured in-engine, displaying the team's ambition for the sequel. Since then, though, development has shifted to Unreal Engine 5. The storyline of Ark 2 is set to follow the events of Genesis Part 2, the final expansion for the first game. It involves a clone of the player character Santiago da Costa, played by Vin Diesel, heading towards an Earth-like alien planet, which will serve as the setting for the game's story. Ark 2 is bringing some significant changes from the first game, featuring updated melee combat with mechanics such as target lock, blocking, dodges, combos, and special attacks. The game remains focused on primitive combat, but also includes some advanced traversal systems like parkour. One of the key features announced for the game is the integration of mod.io's cross-platform mod and user-generated content support. Ark 2 is shaping up to be a huge addition to the series with its advanced gameplay mechanics and new look visuals. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. Hopefully the delay to 2024 will make the game worth the wait. Blight Survival is an upcoming medieval co-op game that puts you into the struggle against a deadly affliction known as the Blight. Designed for up to 4 players, the objective is to reach and destroy the source of the Blight. The game unfolds in a no man's land caught between 2 warring kingdoms. The battleground becomes the breeding ground for a new strain of the Blight, feeding off the bloodshed and chaos of war. Inspired by the success of franchises like Game of Thrones, Blight Survival looks to combine medieval warfare with the thrill of a zombie apocalypse. Blight Survival is a 4-player co-op roguelike game. It focuses on brutal combat and exploration. It features a large open map filled with customization options for your weapons and armor. The game also incorporates a loot system where you can scavenge resources from your defeated enemies. A key element of gameplay is going to be the balance between offense and defense, with a stamina system to help add complexity to the combat. Blight Survival looks like it could be a promising title, offering a sort of unique twist of medieval warfare and zombies. So depending on how the game plays out, if it's good, if it has a good storyline, if it has great gameplay, then it could be a real hit. The original Wolf Among Us, released by Telltale Games all the way back in 2013, was a massive success, even receiving an overall 97% positive rating on Steam. The game was an episodic graphic mystery game based on the Fables comic series by Bill Willingham. The game originally released in 5 episodes following Bigby Wolf, the quote, Big Bad Wolf and Sheriff of Fabletown. You investigate a brutal crime that leads you down a twisting path where your decisions had some serious consequences. In The Wolf Among Us 2, you will once again play as Bigby. The game picks up 6 months after Season 1, where a new case is threatening to cross the line between Fabletown and the NYPD, and tensions are rising. Your choices and your approach to handling the situation could determine the future of the community. If you're unfamiliar with Telltale Games, let me say they are some of my favorite developers. After finding massive success with games like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, to name a few, the company closed down in 2018 but was once again revived. There's been plenty of changes from then until now, but here's to hoping they can continue on the path of making fantastic story-driven games once again. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is an upcoming game that blends challenging combat mechanics with a cinematic gameplay experience. It is a third-person action RPG that involves fighting alongside a spirit companion and features a currency called reputation. The game embodies different elements of a Souls-like game, such as earning and losing reputation through combat, engaging in one-on-one duels, and a system where you can recover your currency at the point of last death. Combat in Flintlock is described as responsive and satisfying, with impactful axe blows and cool finisher animations that are similar to God of War. You must dodge, parry, and counterattack against enemies, including the challenging bosses you'll face. Flintlock is set in a world where the door to the afterlife has opened, leading to an army of the undead rising. You will embark on a mission to stop the chaos by defeating the undead gods. Exploration seems to be a key component of the game, with the world offering rumors, side quests, and various locations to discover. The game will offer expansive skill trees, allowing you to customize your characters according to your playstyle. These options include enhancing magical abilities, focusing on black powder and guns, or developing axe-wielding skills. With its combination of challenging combat, deep world building, and character customization, Flintlock: Siege of Dawn looks like it could be an interesting Souls-like similar RPG that I'm kind of looking forward to. Dune Awakening is an ambitious open-world survival MMO. The game is set on Arrakis, famously known as the deadliest planet in the universe. It provides a journey through the world of Dune. Interacting with characters from the movies and books, you will explore the planet, uncovering mysteries beneath the sands while navigating this world. In Dune Awakening, you can craft your identity and develop skills and abilities that improve with use. Loyalties are declared through your attire and actions, allowing you to become specialized or versatile. The environment is dynamic, with Coriolis storms regularly altering the landscape and revealing some new secrets, natural resources, and challenges. Survival in-game requires managing your resources such as water. The game will also feature an expansive base building and crafting component. The game features third-person combat, including ambushes and large-scale battles involving infantry and various vehicles. You can use a variety of equipment, firearms, melee techniques, and other abilities in combat. Controlling the valuable spice is central to the game. You can harvest spice, sell it, or use it to enhance your abilities at the risk of addiction. You can also create guilds, ally with great houses, and vie for economic and resource control. All in all, it sounds like a really interesting MMO with a big, vast open world, some good survival mechanics, and the lore of the Dune universe. And it could potentially be an awesome experience. Sticking with the theme of MMOs, Chrono Odyssey is an open world MMORPG developed by Korean development studio InPixel. The game presents a journey through time and space, set in a world where time is fluid and full of mysteries. You take on the role of a hero with a unique ability to control time, traveling across different eras, meeting various characters, and battling dangerous enemies. Chrono Odyssey will feature a unique class system where you can choose from various classes, each offering distinct playstyles, such as spellcasting or close combat. The game will challenge you with tough enemies that will require some strategic thinking and quick responses in what is described as a fast-paced combat system. And it will also include a crafting system that allows you to create powerful weapons and armor, encouraging you to explore and experiment. The gameplay will include real-time MMO events and large-scale raids. However, how deep these MMO aspects of the game will be is yet to be seen. However, it is worth noting that there have been some concerns about the Korean development studio and the potential for pay-to-win aspects. This is an issue that has plagued some Korean-based games in the past, so hopefully Chrono Odyssey will be free of these elements. So we'll just have to stay tuned to see if it can deliver in 2024. Neo Berlin 2087 is a game being developed by Elysium Game Studio. Established in 2019, they aim to deliver narrative-driven games with high-quality storytelling and graphics. Neo Berlin is their debut project. Despite the initial mixed reactions to its trailer, the game is powered by Unreal Engine 5 and is gaining attention for its visuals and cyberpunk theme. And it is a first and third-person action-adventure game. Set in a futuristic Berlin, the game presents a city divided by technological advancements. The wealthy thrive within the city's walls, enjoying the fruits of progress while the outskirts are subject to poverty. You will step into the role of a detective navigating this divided world, facing moral dilemmas and engaging in immersive investigations. The game's story revolves around societal divisions, technological disparities, and the protagonist's quest for justice and the truth. You will utilize advanced cyberwares to solve mysteries and engage in combat. As a detective, you have unique abilities to understand human behavior and actually hack into suspects' mind, extracting crucial information to help solve cases. As the studio's first big project, it'll be really interesting to see how they can deliver on this game and the impact that they can make with their first title. And I'm excited to see more. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is a remake of the 2004 game Metal Gear Solid 3. Series creator Hideo Kojima isn't involved in the new remake of the game, but there's still plenty of excitement following the announcement. The remake is looking to bring the much-loved stealth action experience to modern platforms with updated graphics and gameplay, utilizing Unreal Engine 5. While Kojima is not involved in this new iteration, his iconic characters and series continue to thrive. First released in 2004, Metal Gear Solid 3 is a classic, known for its deep storyline and quite innovative gameplay. The remake looks to faithfully recreate this experience for both old fans and new players, preserving the original script and even reusing voice clips from the original game. The remake retains the setting of the original game, taking players back to the lush jungles of the Soviet Union in 1964. It continues the series tradition of tactical stealth and the use of the environment to help progress, offering you a mix of nostalgia and modern gameplay mechanics. It's a project that's going to combine nostalgia with some modern gaming elements to try and deliver an experience that honors the original game. Let's hope the remake lives up to the high standards set by the original and can hopefully reach a new, broader audience. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 looks to include all the fan favorite elements from the first game, alongside all marketplace add-ons offering the full Flight Sim experience. The game will feature various planes set in realistic and engaging environments, with continuous updates enhancing aircraft, avionics, cityscapes, and global landscapes. A significant evolution for the series is the introduction of a variety of new aviation careers. The initial trailer showcased 19 potential careers, including options like aerial firefighting, search and rescue, and helicopter cargo transport. These career paths are going to be enhanced with new weather dynamics and challenging environmental conditions, such as forest fires and tornadoes, adding depth and realism to the experience. The game is looking to replicate real-world aviation training and scenarios as closely as possible. Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is looking to set the bar even higher for realistic flight simulation, blending a wide variety of careers, realistic challenges, and dynamic environments. And it's going to be one of the most anticipated single-player games, especially with its availability on Xbox Game Pass, and could be a huge hit. Finally, let's discuss the Gothic 1 remake. The Gothic remake is an ambitious project by Alchemia Interactive set to release in the second half of 2024. Announced at Gamescom 2023, this game is a reimagining of the iconic 2001 RPG. The world in the Gothic remake will be 20 to 30% larger than the original. Combat mechanics have been completely revamped, moving away from the criticized Soul-like approach of the 2019 playable teaser, which received mostly positive and some mixed reviews on Steam. Now the game has a more gradual learning curve with weapons, leading to more varied combat styles. The remake also promises new dialogue and fan service, enriching the Gothic universe. A significant leap in the remake is its transition to Unreal Engine 5. However, the developers are committed to maintaining the original's gloomy atmosphere and visual style, ensuring a faithful recreation of the beloved Gothic world. The story will also remain faithful to the original, where you find yourself as a prisoner of the Corvinus mines, with the world turned chaotic due to a magical barrier gone wrong. The Gothic remake is a modernized, expanded, and technically advanced version of the classic RPG. With its enhanced combat system, expanded world, and next-gen graphics, it looks like an awesome remake that could pull in both original fans and new players alike. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you discovered some new games to look forward to in 2024. Be sure and let me know which games you're most excited for in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one.